class, the receiving school students and teachers.
Good morning, Mrs. Watangas.
How are you all this morning?
We are very well, thank you. And how are you this morning?
I'm very well, just like you all. Thank you. You may be seated. Before we go on with our lessons, class, the receiving school students and teachers, earlier in our lesson, our lessons for this term, we had 2 guest speakers from Dovet. Here with me, I have 2 of their trainees who are at our school. They are here for observation. I would just have them to introduce themselves quickly and tell us what they are actually doing at our school. If I can have the first one.
Good morning, class. I'm Miss Keva. I'm a second-year student at Papua New Guinea Education Institute. I'm doing my practical here for 12 weeks, and I'm here for supervise and observe Mrs. Watlanga's lesson this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next one.
Good morning, students. I'm Miss Akauma. I'm also from PNG Education Institute, and I'm here for my practicum. I'll be with you for 12 weeks, and I'm here for observation.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. You have all just heard of our trainees. They actually deal with whatever we are actually going through, especially our unit on nutrition. Now, let's get back to where we were in our previous lesson. Our previous lesson was on formulating recipes. Now, I'd like someone in the class to tell me what recipes are, or what are recipes. What are recipes? Okay, let's have Violet to tell us what recipes are.
Written directions on how to cook a certain food dish.
Very good, thank you. Now, recipes are also made up of, or recipes also include 2 main areas in there. William, if you can tell us what our recipes consist of.
Ingredients and methods.
Very good, ingredients and methods. Ovin, what are ingredients? What are ingredients?
Food needed to make a recipe.
Good, thank you, Bobby. What are methods? What are methods?
Steps.
Right, thank you. Now, our previous lesson, you started working on your own recipes. We also had 2 of our students, Helen and Shane, shared with us on their local recipes using whatever food is available in the areas where 2 of them come from. Now, you were actually told to write up recipes that you use food that is available in your area or in the area that you live. Now, in the case of our friends who are in the model class, a lot of them live in the cities, but that's not an excuse for the model class to start writing your own recipes using whatever food that is sold in the shops, especially commercially produced food. I expect the model class to have local recipes that use food in the area where you come from. Now, we also looked at 2 types of recipes. 2 types of recipes. If I can have Patricia to tell us one of those recipes. One type of recipe.
Ingredients and method separated.
Good. The ingredients and method is separated, where you have ingredients on their own and the method. Now, there is also another type of recipe we looked at. Let's save a query.
Ingredients and the methods are all in one.
Very good. The ingredients and methods are all in one. They're all in one, not separated like the first type of recipe we have. Now we are going to look quickly at our assessment task. We already did the first one, the first assessment task, the first instruction. We did none other. If you can tell us what the first instruction was that we've already done in our previous lesson.
Individually draw up and formulate a recipe of your own.
Very good. You were to write up a recipe of your own, and you have all done that in the previous lesson. I hope the receiving school students, you have also done yours too. Now, we will be looking at the second assessable task or assessment task, the second instruction, which says, in groups you are to write up each other's recipes. And you also have to have one more of your own written. Now, in your groups, if there are 7 of you in the group, you have your own recipe written and also the recipes from the other group members in your group. And that is how you will make up your recipe book. Now we have the criteria that goes with the activity that we will be doing today. Let's have Shane to read it for us. Criteria.
7 recipes using local foods or foods available in your area.
Very good. Now each of those recipes worth 2 marks. So if you are asked to have 7 recipes, Rachel, how many should you be getting out of those 7 recipes? How many marks?
14.
14, okay? So I've already explained what you should do. You are supposed to be writing each other's recipes into the books that you have. Now we have a look at our lesson activity. Lesson activity. If I can have too long, I'll read for us what it says, the first activity.
In your groups, discuss about your individual recipes.
Okay, thank you. So that is what you are going to do first. Together as a group, you discuss about your individual recipes. Okay, one of you talk about your recipes to your friends. Just like we have seen our friends in the previous lesson, they told us about their recipes. You're going to do the same in your groups. You tell your friends about your recipes. And then after that, the second activity, you are to write each other's recipes. Now, teachers in the receiving schools, you also have your students to work on their recipes while the model class also works on theirs. Now, receiving school teachers, this is a recipe book. It's made up of 3 papers, okay? 3 A3 papers have been put together and stapled the top and the bottom, and that makes a recipe book. Now, this is what you are going to do. You leave the front, this page here, leave that one. We will come to that in one of our lessons later in the week, okay? Leave that one. That is going to be your cover. You open it, and this first page here, this is where you are going to write the content. You will be told of what content is in the lessons that we will have later. Now, once you open, this is where you are going to write your own recipe, okay? Then the rest of your friends, your group members, you have this written on each of these pages. Once you turn it, make sure every page has a recipe, okay? Now, have the name of your food dish written on top. Leave space big enough for your picture, and underneath you have the ingredients and the methods of your food dish. I hope students in the receiving schools, you have taken note of that. Teachers also help your students with whatever papers you have available. If you are not able to get A3 papers, teachers, you can use A4 papers, and you can make a smaller book than the one that the model class has. This is because we are using A3 paper, we have a bigger book. Okay, the students, we will be on our activities now. In your groups, once again, discuss about your individual recipes, and you start working on your recipe books. Have your own written before you go to the others in your groups. I will be having a model class. I will be having our 2 trainees moving around. So if you need any assistance in where you should do your recipe writing and all that, just ask them and they will help you. Okay, so if you can. Okay, you all should know what to do now. Okay, did you staple yours? Already. That is your front cover. Open it, leave that blank. This one, leave it also because this is where you're going to write your content. Okay? You open it. Okay, here you have your recipe written. Make sure you have the food dish. Like Helen will write, what did you say, banana and coconut. Is it? Say go. And in language, what it's called. Okay, then have a space big enough for pictures. Pictures you can find, like yours is banana, coconut, and so you can find picture of coconut, banana, or like that. That's it. Okay, and then you have your ingredients and the method, you have it already there, so you copy that one down. With the pictures, that we come to that later. Okay, now you are only to write the recipes. Once you finish yours, then you decide maybe you will write Patricia's now. Okay, you write Patricia's here, the same. Food dish, what's a food dish? What's the name of it? Space, and then ingredients method. Once you finish Patricia's, you come to Brendan's, okay? And Messy's, all the way until you, and everybody will do the same. So you all have each other's recipes copied into your book. Okay, you all know what to do now. Okay. Shelley, Topping Gibson. You know what to do now? Okay, tell me what you're going to do.
I'm gonna leave the space.
What's this one for?
Next lesson.
Okay.
This one is for the
Look at, what's this one for? You have the first one. Cover. Okay, then?
Content.
Okay, you are getting, okay. Content. Okay, that's going to be your own recipe. Now, what do you have on top? The name of your food dish or the recipe. And then, what else? Space for picture.
Ingredients
And method, okay. Then, okay, and then you have, everybody. So like Edward, you're going to write everyone's here. Cassie, you will do the same. So see, you're not going to look for your own recipes. You are using each other's recipes, see? Everybody in the group, you're using each other's recipes to make a baked book. Now, there are 2, 4, 6 of you. Anybody missing? No. Okay, so you have to have 7 recipes, and there are 6 of you, which means you will have to make up one of your own to make it 7, which means you write 2 of your own, besides the 5 from your friends that makes it 7. With the others who have already 7 there, they won't have to write another because they're already 7 and they're able to get it done. Okay, yes, too long. Why didn't you ask those trainees there? Yes?
Write the contents
Yeah.
here, and then we will start here.
Yeah, yours, your own.
My own, and then
Your own and then the rest. Okay, then what do you do on top? the top of the page.
Name of the food dish, and then the small space, not really small, but enough for the
Picture.
and then the method.
Very good. Okay, but if you want to make your style so like that, you can have a highlighter or like that. Down this way. Okay? Just to make your, brighten your page up. Okay, good. Yeah? Yeah, what is it? Your, that's your cover. Okay, that's where you have your, no, not the recipe, the cover of your book. It's going to be this first page. Yeah, we will come to the cover later. Now you only concentrate on what we are supposed to do now. Your content will go here, see? That page, this page is where your content is going to be. We will come to content later, so don't ask about it. What you're going to be doing now is writing your recipes. Your own over here, okay? The food dish on top, leave space for picture. And then at the bottom, you have ingredients and the method. Pardon?
What we like cook?
The name of your food dish. Okay, what was your own recipe you wrote about? You're supposed to do that in the previous lesson we had. What was your, Violet, your dish you made? Sago banana. So that is Violet's now. Violet's own recipe is sago banana. That is the name of the food dish. And then she's going to have pictures. You can look around for picture of sago and banana and just have that on there. Then the ingredients and the method. That's her own. And here you are going to write everyone in your group their recipes. You're going to write Justin's there. You have Violet's there. You have Elisa's there, all the way. Teresa, Cara. And that is how you come up with your recipe book. Now, how many of you in the group?
6.
Okay. 6. Now, you are to make how many recipes? 7, which means, yeah, you will have to make up 1, which means you yourself, you will be writing 2 recipes, okay? And that adds up to 7 recipes altogether, okay? Those are okay, yeah. Messi still thinking.
Can I make them?
What's your recipe, your individual recipe you had in a previous lesson? What's your food? Oh, you didn't come, okay? So you are going to try your best to get it done now. Patricia, yours? What's your food dish called? What? That's okay. So you have that, that's the name of your food dish is potato salad. Okay? So you have that, that's the name of your food dish is potato salad. Okay? Then you have, make sure you have space for your pages, okay? When we come to the what? So when you are having yours, maybe you decide to have your pages written up there at that corner or down at the bottom, but we will come to that in the next lesson. Let's see, Tanabik, you already started with your own recipe?
Main exchanging.
What? Waiting for that?
Main exchange.
Exchange.
This recipe.
Okay, listen, this is what you're going to do. You did not listen to the instruction. You have, this one is the content, okay? When you open it, Tanabik your own recipe. The rest of your friends' recipe fills up the book. Okay? Yeah, so you are not going to write all the 7 recipes yourself. You will have contribution from everybody's recipes. You make up a recipe book. So see, that's where you have the content. Your own recipe must be the first one. Make sure you have the name of a food dish. I leave space for picture, ingredients, method. Then you have Paul As written here, you have Rachel's there, William's there, Paul this there, Regina's there, see? Now, how many of you in the group? 6 of you. Now, how many assessment tasks, how many recipes are you to make? 7. So what are you going to do now to make up for the 7 recipes? What did the instruction say? Yeah, the instruction says you write up one more of your own to make it up to 7, which means you yourself will have 2 recipes. And the rest, they come from your friends. Why are we right at the back? Why are you right at the back? Start with your own now. Don't take time. Now you're supposed to be completing your own recipes. Your own recipes supposed to be completed now, and you should be going on to your group members' recipes now. No, I don't have any. Now I will come on once again. There's some of us who are still asking the same questions from every group I'm going around. I'd like you to take note. Please listen carefully. Now the criteria says you are to write 7 recipes. If there are 6 of you in the group, you will have to write 2 of your own recipes, and the other 5 come from your group members. And that is how you end up with 7 recipes. Now, if I can just go through quickly how you are to set your recipe books up. If I can have Raymond to come and explain to us how we have to set up our recipe books. Raymond, which your book? Now Raymond is going to go through the instruction once again, the instruction that I have given. He will go through it once again, so that should help us to know what we are supposed to be doing. Raymond?
The front page, we are going to leave it for the next activity. Okay. You'll open it. This side, you leave it. On the other side, you'll write your contents. Turn the page over, and on the other side, on the top, you write the recipe. You leave the space for the pictures. You'll write the ingredients and the methods.
Okay, thank you, Raymond. Raymond did not complete. Can I have somebody to complete it for us, Shane, with your book? Now, there is also an error Raymond has done with the first page, so if Shane can tell us what should be there.
Okay. This should title your cookbook, your recipe book, sorry, and then you leave this page here. Then you come up to this and you write your contents and the page number of each recipe. Then you move on to the other side here, the next page, and then you start off with your recipe. First you draw the pictures on top, then the ingredients and the methods below. You do the same until you finish with your book, recipe book. And if you are 6 of them in your group, you can write an extra recipe in your recipe book.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks very much, and I hope you have all taken note of that. Receiving school students too, you have had that very clear, and you will be completing your recipes as your homework. And once you finish, you are to have one of your own written. That's if there are 6 of you in the group. Now, homework for both the receiving school students and the model class, you are to complete writing up all the recipes from your group. Now, next lesson is going to be a complete different lesson. We are not going to spend that next lesson on writing up our recipes. All the recipes are to be completed as homework. And when we come for the next lesson, we will be on complete different activity. So please, teachers in the receiving schools, make sure your students get all those recipes done in their own time, and even the model class too. Now, if I can have Hayano to tell us what our key phrase is for this lesson.
Completion of recipe.
Okay, let's see if Hayano is correct. So our key phrase is still on formulating recipes. Can somebody tell me what we mean by formulating recipes? Shane has his hands up, so we'll have Shane to tell us.
Making your own recipe from your own idea.
Very good, thank you. Okay, so that is exactly what we are doing, and we will be doing that in the next couple of lessons. Now, our next lesson is compiling recipe book, meaning in the next lesson, we will be having our content done, the pages numbered, the cover of your recipe books done. So consider that, students. Next lesson is going to be a complete different lesson, different activities. So a reminder once again, please make sure you get all those recipes, your own and the ones from your friends, done in your own time as homework. And with that, good morning class, the receiving school students and teachers for your participation.
Receiving schools, here's a reference for the next lesson: strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and reference.